Hello, what's up, everybody? It's BallietBran. So I want to talk about something that I've heard a lot lately in PulseChain and Hex when it comes to people telling each other what they should and shouldn't be doing. And just when it comes to information, right? I've made it very clear on my YouTube channel since the get-go that I'm never, ever giving financial advice. I'm never giving any recommendations. And I never tell people what I think they should or shouldn't do. So with that being prefaced and that being, a lead to what I want to say, I find it disgusting, to be honest. And I'll take the contrarian position on this, which I've always been very contrarian. I'll be the loner in the room. I think it's disgusting, all of the people saying that others should not be sacrificing. Who are you to say what someone should or shouldn't be doing with their money? And once again, this isn't at anyone in general. This is just at the consensus, right? I've heard it a lot on streams that I've been on or other people that I've seen make videos as well. And here's the thing that you don't understand, okay? So myself, a lot of other people, right, that have been in here since the beginning, for PulseChain at least, got 10,000 points per each dollar. Well, the people that are sacrificing now are getting significantly less. It's like over 166 times less, something like that, right? But just because that is the case, it does not necessarily mean that that's going to be a shitty financial decision when it comes to them actually receiving some pulse. Because the other thing that I've always considered, and once again, I never said that people should have done one thing or another, but initially I was thinking, okay, well, hey, if you're holding Hex, then you're going to get a copy, right? Whenever that snapshot of that block height actually is, of that forked block height, you're now going to get copy of, so you're going to have that eHex, and now you're going to have Hex on PulseChain. And then once everything opens up, you take those two economic forms of energy, and then you convert it into Pulse, right? But just because that's something that I've considered and something that other people have doesn't mean that that's the only solution. And by no stretch of the imagination does it mean that people sacrificing now are going to, in the future, be worse off of any other strategy. Because once again, it's different for you, and people are very biased. It's just like the hindsight bias or the unit bias, right? Just because you got your 10,000 pulse points per dollar doesn't mean that it's the worst decision for people to be sacrificing now that don't have it, but just want to get in the first place. Obviously that bonding curve is ticking upwards, and PulseChain may launch by the end of the year, is my opinion. But it's something that I've considered, because a lot of people, right, they've got the fallacy of the market cap. They say, oh, the market cap of Hex or the market cap of PulseChain could never go to hundreds of trillions, because then it would just be worth more than all of the economic mass in the world. And then you find out there's exceptions to the rule. Well, I'm here to say that the market doesn't give a damn. And, just like facts don't care about your feelings, the market doesn't care about your feelings either. The market doesn't care that people got 10,000 points, myself included, when we were sacrificing versus whatever the amount of points are today. The market doesn't care about that. And the market has clearly been showing that, in fact, it's the opposite. They understand that obviously they're getting a worse rate, but it's not like they can rewind time. So they're taking advantage of what they have control over today, and what Richard has said about people that late sacrifice can still get some claim. So once again, it's all relative. And I know how much power something like my channel has, or other people's channels that have similar, 4,000, 5,000 subscribers. It's amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. And it's something that I'm honored by and humbled by. But that being said, I think it's very important to not influence, but I think it's very important to give, like, say, both sides of a situation, or even your opinions. That's fine. But to blatantly say that like, hey, you're a retard if you're doing this, or you're very stupid if you're doing this, I think is just, honestly, it's kind of dishonest. And I think it's almost following like the sheep, not the sheep, but I think it's following the majority of what everyone else is saying in Pulse, that, oh, you shouldn't sacrifice. You're an idiot if you sacrifice now. Don't you know people got their points at 10,000? Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but it's not that time anymore, right? And people are still sacrificing. Even Bree Tepp, the guy that I made the clip of yesterday, he was saying that he knows people that are still sacrificing within the past couple of days. And once again, you see that the logic is one way, which is where everyone is at right now. But then, the reality is different than what the logic is. So like, just because you think that it's going to work this way, this is the same kind of thinking that Richard had that fucked him over with Ethereum, that let him miss out on the Ethereum launch because he didn't realize, oh, okay, the market's actually doing this thing, not what I think is logical. So that's just something I wanted to mention because once again, I'm going to start making a couple different videos that I think are very important for people that are either content creators, people that are just in the community in general, to listen to and just digest. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not recommending anybody do anything ever. And the times that I've said that, hey, sacrificing or getting your hex and eHex for converting into Pulse, I've never ever said that people should do one thing or another. And I just think that it can lead down a very bad path if people do choose that decision of one or the other, or calling people idiots, because now you're almost kind of influencing that person's decision, making them feel dumb if they just sacrificed or if they're going to. And what if it turns out that you are the one that's wrong and now you look like the dumbass after everything is all said and done because the market happened to do something different than your logical explanation? And now, you go back and now history is not looking too good on your side because Pulse just did something that no one ever else had expected happening. So that's where I'll end this now. I want people to be careful of the influence that you have and let people make their own decisions. If you have an opinion, that's fine. But I think it's very important to make it apparent that it is just your opinion. And once again, give the logic and the reason behind those opinions versus just going to ad hominems. I don't think that that's very mature, and I don't think that's a very good use of people's power and their influence that they have in all of these communities. So that's where I'll end this here, and I'll see everyone on the next video, okay?